Okay, let's get right into it. Have you ever seen this happen? A brilliant AI project, a super smart team, and it just completely faceplants. It happens all the time. But what if I told you the real reason wasn't the algorithm, or the data, or even the engineers? What if the fatal mistake was made weeks before a single line of code was ever written?
Here it is, 90%. That's the estimated failure rate for new AI products. I mean, just let that sink in. 9 out of every 10 projects full of hype and money just don't make it. It's a massive number, and it tells you we're fundamentally getting something wrong about how to build with AI.
And here's the kicker. The reason for that 90% failure rate completely flips the script on what we think is important. The issue isn't a failure in technical execution, it's a failure in diagnosis. Teams are building these incredible, powerful solutions to problems that either don't matter or sometimes don't even really exist.
So, how do the elite teams, the ones in that successful 10%, avoid this trap? Well, they live and breathe a very simple mantra. You have to frame the problem long before you ever start thinking about the solution. This slide just nails the mindset shift. Look, the average team does what we call solution design. They start with the answer. We need an AI chatbot, or let's throw Llama 3 at this. It's like a charlatan selling a miracle cure before even asking about your symptoms. The right way, problem framing, is all about being a doctor. You diagnose, you ask a ton of questions, you find the root cause before you even think about writing a prescription.
And that's exactly what problem framing is. It's this structured process of taking a really fuzzy, vague complaint, like our customer support is too slow, and hammering it into a precise, measurable, and totally actionable problem statement. It really is the difference between just treating a symptom and actually curing the disease.
All right, so theory is great, but let's get tactical here. To actually master this, you're going to need a toolkit. So now we're going to walk through 2 of the most powerful tools that the best AI product managers are using every single day.
First up, we've got the problem hierarchy. It always starts at level 0, which is the symptom. This is that vague complaint we just talked about. Support is slow. Now, this is where most failed projects start, and unfortunately, where they end their analysis. But we're going to dig way deeper.
Now we get to level 1, the impact. This is where you have to ask that critical question, so what? So what if support is slow? Why does that actually matter? The answer reveals a real, quantifiable business problem. See, it's not just slow anymore. It's that our most important high-value customer cases are getting delayed by 2 whole days. Suddenly, the problem has teeth.
Okay, next down is level 2, the root cause. We just ask, why again? Why are those high-value cases getting delayed? Well, after we do some digging, we discover that our highly skilled agents are spending over half their time, 60%, on super simple, repetitive, low-value tickets. Now we're getting somewhere.
And this brings us to level 3. This is the holy grail for an AI product manager, the decision. You see, the real problem isn't the backlog itself. It's a broken decision-making process. Every single minute of the day, someone is failing to make the right call. Which of these tickets actually need a human expert, and which ones can be automated? That's the decision an AI can and should be built to improve.
Okay, so once you've nailed down that core decision, the next tool in our toolkit helps you categorize it. And the good news is there are really only 5 fundamental types of problems that AI is especially good at solving. Knowing these is like having a mental cheat sheet for product development.
First up is classification. This is for any problem that's about putting something into a bucket. Is this email spam or not spam? Is this customer a high churn risk or a low one? It's all about simple, powerful labeling.
Second is ranking. Pretty straightforward. Whenever you have a list of things and you need to know the absolute best order, that's a ranking problem. Think about it. Ranking search results, sales leads by who's most likely to close, or even job candidates by their fit.
Third, we've got recommendation. Now this goes a step beyond just ranking. It's not about ordering a list for everybody. It's about suggesting the single best item or action for a specific user. It's highly personalized, and it's all about maximizing an outcome, like showing the perfect next product or telling a sales rep the one best move to make right now. Fourth on our list is generation. This is the one that's on everybody's mind these days. Anytime you need the AI to create something brand new, whether that's an email response, a chunk of code, or a design mockup, you're dealing with a generation problem. And last but not least, prediction. This one is all about forecasting a future event or a number based on the data you have right now. Questions like, when is this customer going to churn? Or what will our product demand look like next week? These are all prediction problems.
So you've got the problem hierarchy, and you know the 5 core problem types. You're feeling armed and ready to build. But this is where the road forks. Knowing what to do is one thing, but the elite teams, they also have a map of all the landmines. It's just as important to know what not to do. So let's quickly cover the deadliest traps that completely derail even the smartest teams.
We've already hit on the biggest one, solution-first thinking. But let's unpack a few other project killers from this list. You've got vague impact, where the problem isn't tied to a real business metric. It's a nice-to-have, not a need-to-have, and you know it's going to lose funding the second budgets get tight. Then there's ignoring constraints, and we see this all the time. Teams planning some amazing image generation tool without the data or the compute power to actually pull it off. And maybe the most common of all is failing to define measurable success. Seriously, if you can't write down in plain numbers what winning looks like before you start, you're pretty much guaranteed to fail.
So after all this work, after digging through the hierarchy, identifying the problem type, and sidestepping all those traps, where does it all lead? Well, it all leads to a single, powerful, one-page document that gets everyone perfectly aligned.
And this is it, the problem-framed canvas. Think of this as your project's constitution. It kicks off with a 90-second problem frame. That's your elevator pitch that gets everyone from the CEO to the junior engineer on the exact same page. It forces you to name exactly who is affected, which builds empathy and stops you from creating unintended consequences for other teams. It lays out the entire root cause analysis, showing the journey from that vague symptom to the real problem you're solving. And this part is absolutely crucial. It defines the success criteria, not just one big goal, but also the guardrails, the things you promised not to break along the way. And finally, it declares the specific AI problem type, which aligns your entire data science and engineering team. This one document is your ultimate defense against solving the wrong problem.
Okay, you've got the toolkit, you've got the blueprint, now it's your turn. Here's a final test for you. Your marketing team tells you their social media posts are underperforming. That's the symptom. So, how would you take this super vague complaint and turn it into a perfectly framed AI problem? What's the impact? What's the root cause? And most importantly, what is the core decision that needs to be improved? The answer to that is how you go from the 90% who fail to the 10% who succeed.